Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the whole world of recruitment. We're going to break down what recruiters actually do, how they do it, and why their role is so incredibly critical for, well, pretty much everyone, from job seekers all the way up to CEOs.
So, let's just jump right in with the big question. We all think we know the answer, don't we? They find people for jobs. Simple. But is it really that straightforward? As we're about to see, the role of a recruiter is way more strategic, a lot more complex, and honestly, so much more human than most of us realize.
And this is really the core idea to hang on to. The best recruiters, they aren't just matchmakers. Think of them more like architects. They are literally designing and building a company's most valuable asset, its team. They're not just filling empty seats, they're laying the foundation for a company's entire future. So, to understand how they build that foundation, we first need to take a look at their blueprint. Let's start by breaking down the fundamental process that pretty much every recruiter follows, what's known as the recruitment lifecycle.
The whole journey, it follows a pretty clear path. It all kicks off with the job brief. That's where they get a deep understanding of what the company actually needs. Then comes sourcing and screening, which is the active hunt for talent. After that, you've got interview coordination, followed by the delicate dance of offer management. And it doesn't just stop when the offer is accepted. The really great recruiters follow through with onboarding to make sure it's a totally smooth transition.
But here's the thing, this life cycle isn't just some mechanical check-the-box process. Let's take Amazon's hiring scale back in 2024 as an example. All of a sudden, recruiters were having to manage rescinded offers. A really tough situation. Their empathy and their communication skills became just as critical as their ability to find candidates in the first place. It's a huge reminder of the human element in this job. Okay, so we have the process down, but who are the people running it? Well, the word recruiter is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. The environment they work in completely shapes their focus and their strategy. So let's meet the three main players on the field. So you've got three main types. First up, agency recruiters. They are super fast-paced, adaptable, and usually have a sales-driven mindset, working across tons of different industries. Then you have in-house recruiters, who are deeply embedded in one company's culture, focused on its long-term strategy. And finally, there's executive search, the headhunters. They run these confidential, really high-stakes searches for senior leaders. And this kind of specialization, it is a total game changer. Look at Microsoft's global AI hiring spree in 2023. They didn't just post jobs online, no way. They used executive search firms to strategically and quietly poach the world's top AI talent right from their competitors. It's like a high-stakes chess game, and these recruiters are the grandmasters.
We've met the players, and we've seen their playbook. But what skills do they need to actually win the game? Let's move on to their toolkit and see what a recruiter's superpowers really are.
All right, superpower number one, communication. And this isn't just about being a smooth talker. Think back to the Great Resignation. Recruiters were making dozens of calls a day, juggling candidates who had multiple competing offers. In that chaotic market, clear, consistent, and persuasive communication wasn't just a skill, it was their most powerful weapon. And believe me, they need that superpower because the pressure is always on. 42, that's the number. According to an SHRM survey, that's the average number of days it takes to fill a single role. That one number creates immense pressure and drives this need for incredible efficiency. For recruiters, the clock is always ticking.
Now, to beat that clock, recruiters have to be incredibly creative. Sourcing isn't just about posting on LinkedIn anymore. Their toolkit now includes everything from traditional networking to these super sophisticated Boolean searches, and yeah, you're seeing that right, even TikTok, where they're reaching Gen Z talent with short-form video job ads. Now that is adapting.
So the crucial point is that screening has evolved too. It's not just about what's on your resume anymore. Companies like Google are now screening for something called learning agility, which is basically your ability to learn and adapt in a world that is changing constantly. They're hiring for the future, not just for the job today.
So we've seen the process, we've met the players, and we've looked at their powers. But what does it all add up to? Let's talk about the payoff and what truly separates a good recruiter from a great one.
Ultimately, success in this field really boils down to these four pillars. Mastering that five-stage life cycle we talked about. Excelling at managing relationships with both candidates and clients. Hitting those intense targets under constant pressure. And maybe most importantly, adapting to non-stop change with a ton of resilience and a little bit of optimism.
Because in the end, a recruiter's job is about so much more than just transactions. It all comes down to this one powerful idea. Every great hire you make is a story of impact. A single placement can change a person's life, transform a team's potential, and drive a company's innovation forward. That is the real payoff.
Which of course brings us to our final thought. Whether you're thinking about becoming a recruiter, you're a hiring manager, or you're a candidate looking for your next big move, you are a character in this story. So the real question is, what story will you help write next?